Hello and welcome to the Valorant Draft Circuit 2 Week 2 match of the week. We are about to get into our first of two games tonight. I am Chill the Rose. Joining me on the cast for at least this first match is Cryo. Cryo, how you doing?
Hey, Chill. I'm doing okay. I think we're working on it. Just really excited to watch these contender teams play.
Yeah, and we do have two contender teams. We have the Celestial Calzones, which I just realized it's misspelled on my OBS. Nobody.
Help me find my way to your atmosphere till the stars.
Apologies. Slight mistake. We're back. Didn't mean to cut to the away screen. It's been a minute. But yeah, as you were saying, before I completely cut you off by cutting Cryo.
On the other side is going to be Anubis from the Divinity franchise. Both pretty good contender teams coming out the gate strong with a winning record alongside Decaf. Shameless plug. Don't worry about me. But both teams great players on either side. Tino with for contenders specifically, kind of a crazy headshot percentage. The guy scares me whenever he's in a server. But gonna hop right into the game here. Ascent's gonna be our first map.
Yeah, and this will be a typical two game set here in the VDC. So map 1 is Ascent, map 2 will be Bind. And I actually might have the sides. No, I have the sides correct. Look at me go. But we're going to see these comps come in for Ascent. No Pearl so far on stream, at least, which I've been a bit disappointed by. Maybe we'll get some in match 2 tonight. And
maybe we will, but I'm also hoping for Pearl. I want to see what people make of it. And definitely not steal strats, but it's fine. Don't worry about me.
Speaking of strats, we almost have the agent, or we have the agent comps at least hovered. I'll be interested to see if these get locked in. I'd really be interested to see if Drag pulls out the Neon. Interesting pick on the map.
I would be incredibly excited if Drag pulled out the Neon. That would be something very fun to watch. Neon is not a traditional pick here on Ascent, but Drag will make it work. I believe in her.
You're just
heads on the chamber. I'm quaking in my boots. He scares me.
Big endorsement. Wow. And wow, the synced lock-in from the side of the Celestial Calzones. Even with the sub in Kneeler, they were already there. Some team synergy coming through. Also, I just realized I was tabbed out. Apologies to anyone who wanted to hear the Agent Select lobby music. What a stream.
Celestial Calzones opting for the Killjoy as a Jester. I've heard great things about his Killjoy, and I'm excited to see it go to work here, but
yeah, I feel like Jester's been on stream on this exact map playing this Killjoy before, and I think he might have top fragged. It's really been a minute. But we are going to get into map 1 as we have the agent comps locked in. We do see some interesting differences, really. Actually, these teams only share one agent in the KO, otherwise very different compositions coming through. I'm going to tab over just to ping everybody 2 minutes ago.
No duelist coming out from Divinity, but they are starting on defense, so it shouldn't hamper them too much this half. But like we saw, the Neon, Neon likes to play fast, get those relay bolts in, get the fast lane down, and run you over.
And we'll see that we'll be seeing that come through in this very first half, as they will have the Neon on the attack side to start out here.
Looks like that spike is gonna lean towards A. Just Jester out there and Tiles all alone, but not worried.
Yeah, it looks like they want to do a bit of a mid-crunch here, or at least let Jester slow push that.
Knife scans 3. That's the info. Divinity not moving that much, just heads coming over now. Rotating through CT. And that's stalled out the attack for Celestial Calzones. Waiting for their bodies to come back, and maybe there's that. They're getting the orb now. Drag.
What is this crosshair? No way Drag is playing with this crosshair. And he'd be the first one to go in. The flash comes through, but I think the wall actually might have obscured it, but it doesn't matter. Jester found the first pick, but they don't... I don't know if they're aware. Okay, they are aware of Dreamer. They go down, so that is sight opened up. Spike planted. Couple of low health members, but they have the numbers now on their side. The Calzones get the spike in the dirt. The retake being set up by Anubis here. They're clearing back towards Catwalk, as you can see. Gotta break the door. Got the haunt out here from Tino. You have a smoke they have to contend with, but that should be the go signal. They're gonna start to walk out. So many players find. Look at how open that spike plant is, too. It's gonna be very difficult on the retake.
Ooh,
But the
Heads
first
is
pick
gonna
does go their way.
swing it.
So does the
Heads gets one.
second. They found 2 for 2 at this point, or 3, 2 on 2 left remaining, but the time ticking down. The nanoswarm's on the spike. It's gonna just be left to the last 2, and that's a swarm grenade that's gonna close the round out. Zejester will also take down Tino just to finish things out with the clutch, and the first round goes the way of the Omnipotent Sandwiches.
What a great pistol round from Calzones there. Just slowing it down so much in A main, letting Jester come in for that first pick and tree. I don't think Sal Taco knew he was there at all and just caught off by surprise. And Nanoswarm stalling that plant too in that 2v2 scenario, getting one as well somehow. But now they're gonna buy up into Spectres, going for maybe a split push here, maybe a bit of a fake in A main again while the spike is here in B.
And it actually
Sal Taco is
a pretty committed fake. Knife only scans 2, though. So I don't know how convinced they are that this is the location of the push.
Divinity player is going to back out of B main there. The wall is a little bit broken, and Heads is there ready for the contact, but they might not give it to him just yet, waiting for those players to come back. Neil are waiting for something. Maybe if they swing him, he'll get a free pick here, but no one's in any position to. That Prowler going to spot one, but not much else.
Slow and steady push so far. Just taking space, taking this main control in B side. There are still 3 players here for the defense. So we'll see a bit of a
Still a lot of
rudimentary
mid
cross,
presence.
but it is just pistols. Heads doesn't even have a headhunter shot, which you said you were afraid of. They are rushing through mid, though. Drag and the Astra, they're going to take one down. Dunder behind as well. Now they're going to swarm into the site. Heads just rotated off as well, so it's Yellow the
All
Flower.
the yellow here.
She's got to defend everything, and she can't. Drag will take down Neon, or Sal Taco as well on the Neon. Heads loses his, and it will just be Dreamer left alive.
Drag's 20 HP. You might get a kill out of it. Not that it'll matter.
They will get the first. 4 more to find. Actually, almost found a kill into Flan there. In the astral form. Gonna peek back through, trying to go through Market. Dunder Chief will close things out with the 3K. It is 2-0 up. A pretty clean second round on the anti-eco for the side of the Celestial Calzones.
Clean bonus round indeed. Fake in A main didn't quite drag as much attention as they wanted it to, but it was a good mid-round pivot towards mid, sending 3 players up and overwhelming the players there. That trip didn't make much of a difference, and
Yeah, we've seen a lot of
it was just cracked wide open.
that early mid control. I'd be interested to see if they continue that pattern and if there's ever an adjustment that comes in from the side of Anubis. Early on,
That's
it's
just
been
a
a lot of
5-man
min
stack in the
pressure. Early flash forces Heads off the angle. Yellow the Flower gonna be able to throw the wall up to slow down the rush through. It looks like they're stalled out. Oh, they're just going straight through. There's no guns even pointed this way. They get onto lane. 5 players here. This is a hard push. Yellow the Flower and Heads have to do something here. Heads is turned in the wrong direction. Yellow the Flower goes down as well. I believe that is 2 rifles handed over. Tino's going to get one back, though. It's going to be 3v4 on the retake. Sight fully in control. Make that 3v3. Dreamer almost makes it 3v2. Throws out the Paranoid. I think that got both players in Boathouse, and then it'll give him a kill on Dunder. So it's just on to Flan and Kneeler. Good flash, but can't find anything from it. Flan trying to creep out through the smoke. Peeks out, gets the timing. They actually get both picks. It's just down to 1. Tino has to make something happen. Low health as well. Drops into the site. Can't find anything. Kneeler will close that out. A 3K. It's the third 3K from the 3rd different member of this team, I believe, as the Celestial Calzones take their 3rd round.
They grabbed onto the site and they did not let go. Both players left in Boathouse, Kneeler and Flan, just they don't want to lose. That bonus round went so well.
Huge early start, especially on the attack side of a map like Ascent, which can very heavily go defensively. And they have a pretty, well, I'd say a pretty balanced comp. They've actually got quite a bit of offensive prowess, but
Dreamer
Certainly
might
a good place
be
to start.
a little bit out of their depth here. Gonna creep into Wine. Stinger got a buff, so I can't doubt it, but
It might be
it's
the
not gonna
biggest
stop me.
threat early on in this round. Will get detected, though. Backs off of it into a truly not great angle for the Stinger. And that's going to be the null command coming through. Shots go through towards Dreamer, who's living for now, but finally gets shut down. Spike will be planted. It's going to be 5v4 on the retake. Door is broken immediately, but oh, look at that. They have the lockdown, and they're going to choose to use it. Even on the Antico Dunder, not quite through the Nebula. Flashes only himself, but gets away with it.
Saltaco has a flank. She could run into several players that may not be looking at her. That turret's going to spot her out, and Flan going to finish her off.
Big turret there. 3v5, not really many guns to be had. Head's probably the biggest threat with the Head Hunter. Can't find anything off the start. That Haunt does reveal a few. Yellow the Flower almost takes one down with the Frenzy. Oh, what is Dunder trying to do? Shoot people while jumping? It doesn't really matter. The round's going to go in their favor. Tina will find an exit. It's going to be 3 alive, though, and will die to the Spike, as that is now 4 up. Another anti-eco win for the side of the Celestial Calzones, and they extend the lead.
That is 4 rounds in a row, and the wallets really show that. They have just... Flan is almost at max. Money situation is definitely not really a crisis right now, but for Anubis, not quite the same story. They've got a little bit of money just on heads. But they need to start getting these rounds early. They've got a Nightfall and really close to the rest of their ultimates. Heads has looked like he's going to get posted up for an early angle here. He might want to shut this push down before it even starts.
They're actually going all spilling out towards Cat right now. Dunder has the Spike alone towards Tiles. They're back towards this mid control, and there's not a lot to contest it here from Anubis. Tino will just get the shoulder peek. He's going to get run over if he's not careful. Will get finally taken down by the overdrive, and that'll find a second as well. Yellow the Flower taken down on site, which is now wide open. They're going to get a plant. These executions from the side of the Celestial Calzones have been catching Anubis completely off guard. Drag will find another. The headshot damage there on the overdrive coming through. Heads does finally shut down the Neon, but another round, another 3K for the Celestial Calzones.
Saltaco flanking again. Second time in a row she's done this. Maybe hoping for a different result this time.
Fortunately, it's walled off. Yeah, I feel like their best bet is to probably try to save these weapons. Though 3 kill onto the Jester makes this round a consideration. Dunder on the off angle, can't find the shots, but finally does shut down Saltaco. Heads will probably just look to save here in the 1v3, and it's going to be another round over the Celestial Calzones. They are just having whatever they want on this map so far.
They just pick a site and they take it. It just feels for free because either they get the picks or it's just free space for them. And I don't even know if it's just the Neon, but OS Drag v Enemy Gamers, 3 with that overdrive, 2 in mid, then 1 more, I believe it was in CT. His rifles, the gun rounds, not going quite the favor of Anubis, and I don't know. There's the timeout, yep.
Yeah, I was actually about to wonder aloud if the timeout might be coming through because they were kind of standing in spawn. But yeah, that will be the timeout to come through. So they've got a minute to think their way through this. And if you are Anubis right now, I don't know who their IGL is because I believe every single member of the team ticked the box for IGL. But if you're the IGL right now, what are you looking to do to counter this play style out of the Celestial Calzone so far?
If all else fails, do something crazy. They've got some crazy head clickers on the side of Anubis. I want to see them get aggressive. Because so far, Celestial Calzones have been able to take this map control for free. Just wherever they want to go, they're not met with very much. So I want to see them start getting a little more proactive, pushing out these extremities. We've seen Saltaco take those flanks before. Maybe just not one person flanking, maybe a couple pushing out of mid and A if there's no one there. Getting those orbs out, because they do have some ultimates to work with, and one off the rest of them, save for the res, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's a good call. Pushing the flanks, pushing the extremities. A lot of the times, Celestial Calzones grouped as 4 or 5, so that either that solo player or just the free map control, for instance, in this round, they could just walk out B main and take so much space. could Anubis, but of course they are not doing so again. However, they are pretty hard rotating towards this A push. That's a cute crosshair. Flan's crosshair is very cute.
They have the right read here. They're going to push into 4 players on this A site, but it might not matter too much. Dreamer.
Oh, Dreamer on the hole just gets one, and they actually get shut down. They could have gotten so much more there. But the fast lane able to keep Drag alive. He shuts down the Omen, and now it'll be another 4v4 retake. Now they do have the Nightfall here. It looks like they want to use on this retake. Heads might clear towards Cat, actually just betting that there's nobody there. And look at how deep they're playing. Celestial Calzones fully in on the post plant here. Fully in on the post plant utility. Drag the only player on site now fully tagged up. 1 HP will go down to Heads, but they have so much to deal with besides just the players. They have to deal with all the utility, the Nano Swarm lineups. They're going to have to deal with the Astro utility and Flan's gun as well. Kneeler the last. And in yellow, the Flower has no time. She just has to run. Flan will even take her down. That's definitely worth it for the economy. And look at that. Another round, another 3K.
These 3Ks are getting a little bit out of hand. But I've heard something on the internet. And, like, you can only get these rounds so many times until everybody just uses their ults. And it looks like Anubis have that option now. They have the option to just push X and get it for free. Heads looks like he's going to do that with that Tour de Force. And he's going to start pushing up towards mid. I like this from Heads. Gonna want to stop whatever mid aggression he can. There comes the Tour de Force. Peeking out from archers. He might have a fight here, but there it is.
That feels like the first pick that has gone the way of Anubis in this entire map, really. With the Tour de Force there, that shuts down a lot of the spread out pressure that the Celestial Calzones were doing. Oh, look at this. Dunder gonna flash through. I think did, but chose not to take the fight.
I like this extra mid presence now. Tino's now looking from catwalk as well. Heads chose to fall off of his spot, but yeah.
It chose to fall off and picked a different location, and it definitely worked out. Now it's just 3. This is definitely a round Anubis could use. Dreamer can't be throwing away their life like that. Still 1-man advantage.
2 more bullets in this Tour de Force. That's 2 kills Heads could be getting here. Gonna spam through the fast lane with a classic, but not gonna find any connections. Weapon upgrade for Jester. Gonna want to take as much space as they can, but Yellow gonna put him down. Drag gonna trade that back. Just up to Sal Taco up there in heaven.
They're going to let the spike go down. They're actually going to find Drag trying to leave. Dunder Chief has to make something happen and goes for the aggressive play. Smart move there, but has the last 2 to deal with. Prowler clearing every location. Finally spots it. Goes for the null command in the 2v1. 27 health, but still more than 0. Finally shut down. The Divinities, Anubis will get their first round on the board finally. And might just have a shot at dragging this half back to something feasible.
Just a great round from Heads. He goes forward into arches and gets the first pick. Is able to get a second one too, repositioning towards B main. That's the aggression I wanted to see, and that's the aggression he put out, and it was able to convert itself into a round win. First on the board for Anubis, and they look like they still have some resources to carry this into a couple more rounds, start snowballing this a little bit. Looks like Heads is going to want to take an aggressive angle again. I really like this.
And they've got the operator back out again. Big weapon in the last round in the form of the Tour de Force. The turret, though, spots him, so they know that aggression came through. They were actually ready for it. Look at that little trap play they had set up. Fault line, though, doesn't find Heads. They can't find the kill off of it. Now they know they've lost B main control. There's no fade here on the attack side, so they can't really use a haunt to clear this back out. It'll all have to be flashes like that one, which will force Heads to rendezvous out of there. So that's B main control secured for now, and the slow orb will just push them back, but I don't know if a rush onto the B site was the call anyway.
Flash coming through for Calzones. They're gonna maybe peek out, and Heads is not in a position to receive them yet.
Oh, this Astral Divide, yeah, it comes in from the other side of the map. Look at that little head angle. Can't find it, though, onto Kneeler, Ken Heads. And Flan actually finding a pick on the A side. Are they going all the way back towards A now? Looks like they actually want to. They do have the site open. You can't really close the door, though. Flan's standing by the switch, maybe waiting for the teammates to roll on by. And they're going to pivot all
Jester
the way.
might have such a great flank.
Oh,
He's sighted
maybe
there.
not. Gets seen by the trap. Drag as well. Pushes up too far. They will get the plant. It's going to be... Oh, Jester's still committing to this late push. This is important. Because there's no mollies on the spike now. There's no nano swarms. And they've still got 2 players here towards Cat. There's nobody on site. Somebody to stop this defuse. Yeah, the tap will come through. Dreamer as well going to get resurrected on site. This is going to be very difficult for the Celestial Calzones. A 3k of the Divinity comes through, and the Jester is completely too late, though. A shooting gallery maybe to do some economic damage, and will. It's another round and another 3k, but that time it is a loss for the Celestial Calzones, as Anubis will finally get their second. That was a hectic end of the round. Celestial Calzones tried to play really far off site.
They tried the same plan again. Just go A main and Jester flank from mid, but he was a little too slow this time. Wasn't able to quite get the same amount of impact as he did on their first pistol of this half. But great rotate, gets the plant down. But an even better response from Anubis. Knife's gonna come scan up Dunder Chief at the very least. And Heads is gonna just get aggressive in B main. That flash is good, but not enough for a kill. Saltaco is so very low.
Dreamer actually with the paranoia tagged their teammate, and I think the other two, but Dunder was able to avoid the blind. Saltaco gets healed back up. This is gonna, yeah, this Killjoy will probably secure them site. We'll see if the Divinity want to contest. It actually looks like they do. Saltaco peeking out around the corner of the angle. Nobody's here watching this. Well, they expect her to be here once the spike gets planted. They are gonna have numbers again, and they're just running back towards A main again. This is such a pain to deal with.
So disciplined from Celestial Calzones. It's gotten them these 6 rounds in a row because they're just not getting aggressive and taking fights. The only aggression has been Jester on the flank, and he's not doing that this time. Not that he needs to. It is a 5v4. Door's gonna get broken. Heads is gonna take one for himself. Dunder going down.
But the Nightfall fast clears so much of the site. They're fully cognizant now that there's nobody there. They even have the wall late. But the nanoswarms coming through, the late peaks, they've still got to get on the spike somehow, and I think they're going to be able to get pulled off of it with the gravity well. Just the time bought by the utility is so much. There's nobody to get on the spike. Heads will find 3, but Jester can just run with the round. This post-plant setup is just nasty.
We already have a franchise called Post-Plant Incorporated, but this has been.
I think they
so
need to. I think
good.
they need to make a trade to acquire this entire contender roster.
Perhaps
This is very much their style. It would seem. Does PBI even have a contender team?
They do.
Oh, they need to just swap rosters.
I don't want to say anything, but
I say that completely sarcastically. I'm not actually encouraging any transactions, of course, but very much playing into the post-plant style are the Celestial Calzones. It's been working on the tune of 7 rounds out of 9 early on, and this forces another save out of the Divinity.
this is a nice little mid push. 4 guys are running up catwalk. Heads is gonna spot one though, not able to get anything. Perhaps a little too hesitant on the shot.
Storming in towards the A side. The Jester will be the first and will take down Dreamer. Saltaco does manage to find one actually way back in main. They're just gonna run her over. Flan finally finds the kill.
Drag is pissed.
Oh, the Jester could go down. Just jumping, bobbing, and weaving the classic just isn't doing it at that range. The Jester is gonna go to Heads.
Nice shot.
The Jester going to set up for the post plant lineups.
Oh.
Null Command even came through a little late there. Finally, everything will be shut down. It got a little testy, but it was mostly classics on the side of Anubis. So the Celestial Calzones were able to handle things.
Jester with very entertaining movement in the entrance to A site, living up to his name indeed. Is able to stay alive, but that's just a save round, and it keeps going the way of Celestial Calzones. That's very attack-sided comp is working very well, and I'm looking at Flan. Her utility on Astra has been so good. I've seen it before in matches, and I'm seeing it here again. It is just very good. Heads might be looking to receive just the perfect spot. The Vandal, the TPs. Gets one. That's the first pick. Last time he got a first pick.
Oh, and they tried to have something behind it in Saltaco, but she goes down. They were still ready for it, were the Celestial Calzones. Maybe not a great peak timing, so it's just the 1-for-1.
1-for-1s never favor defense, though, and here comes that mid aggression. 2 people at mid, and then a couple left in B main.
The trip is broken, so no trademark, no knowledge. When the push coming in, but Heads takes one. Flan, though, will trade. That's the site defender. Tino goes down as well. Yellow the Flower might need to consider pushing through the smoke, and she won't. She's just going to fall back. Dreamer patient waiting on Cat. They don't know where the spike is being committed to right now. Oh, they can hear that. Yellow does have a timing. She gets one, but surely they heard Dreamer on site. Did Flood not hear Dreamer? They're going to go. Where are they going?
Where are they going? What is...
Oh, they're watching for it. Yeah, okay, they did hear Dreamer teleport to the back of site. Now they're going to go fight Yellow. She tries to peek out. Can't find anything. Dreamer could find a time. They're going to... No way they loop back through market. Does find the timing onto Flan. Do they know where Dunderchief is?
Dunder doesn't have any more flashes. He has to peek this dry.
But Dreamer doesn't seem to know where he is. They're staring down the spike. And look at Dunder coming around behind. Time is not in his favor, but Dreamer's looking the wrong way. Oh, if only Dreamer could turn around. Oh, if only Dreamer could turn around. It's slow and methodical, and it's an execution. That'll be a 9 for the Celestial Calzones.
I mean, what are Anubis hoping for? Some magic and the 9-3 curse? But that doesn't... They'd have to get another round for that to happen. And look at their buy. It's 2 Bulldogs, a Phantom, a Tour de Force, and a Spectre.
Hey, I mean, I've seen worse. But... You got the Tour de Force in there, at least.
Yeah.
Heads has been the standout so far on this map.
Heads is looking to just be in the perfect spot again. That knife's going to come through, and he's going to get posted up with his Tour de Force.
Oh, instant fault line forced out. Yeah, good play there by the Celestial Calzones. They were ready for that aggression. Adapted to it, even. Heads has been doing that several rounds in a row. It was the aggression you asked for, but now the Celestial Calzones are ready for it this deep into the half. Where do they go from here? Smoke. The Operator, the Tour de Force, rather, out of play. Dreamer. Oh, this is not going to be good. Completely tagged up. Known location found. The Jester barely even takes damage for the privilege. They're just going to smash through the door. Yellow the Flower has to hold the line. She can only get one. And with this Tour de Force, or Cosmic Divide, rather, that should be site access and a plant. It will be. And look at all this. They're just running back towards main. Oh, they can't. The wall's up behind them. The strategy has been thrown to the wayside. They have to figure out another plan.
Jester might be
Jester wants to go towards Cat and goes down. So 1-for-1. Oh, what a shot by Tino. 2-for-1 in their favor. Yeah, it's a 2v2 now. They don't know where Drag is. Taking the weird angle. Takes down Saltaco. Tino, though, another head.
There's no way.
Just one to find, has to push on to Flan. She's slowly falling back, wants to play for the utility. It's going to be a tap on the spike. Instant gravity. Well, that could be too close. Maybe it isn't. Has to get off the spike. Now vulnerable to up. Hasn't tapped again. The round's just over. The round's just over. There's just no time. Flan's just going to run out and get the free kill. Tino had a chance and just couldn't take it. And it's a 10-2 half for the Celestial Calzones.
What a statement. What a way to come out on this first map. 10-2. I'm just blown away. They've played so well. They just played so well, and now their comp isn't bad for defense either. They have the Killjoy, sure, just able to hold down B site like Jester is about to do right now, but maybe he doesn't have to hold against very much. Anubis doesn't have a duelist to get them onto the site. I mean, the closest thing they have is an Omen teleport, which is... I've tried TPing in open space before, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, this is definitely a massive uphill battle for Anubis. They've been a solid team so far in this season. We'll see if they can step up, pull this map back from the brink. They're definitely going to need this pistol round if they want to get even close. And early on, just some exchanges of utility, a little bit of information. The relay bolt from Drag. 0 point behind it. They don't find any information. Look at that Killjoy setup outside of B main, by the way.
There's a lot of little blue circles on the map.
Yeah, with the Astra, they are saying you are not allowed onto the B site. See how many lives that might claim. They really invested in utility this round. I believe there was also Flan bought all 4 of her stars into this round as well. Well, at least the 3 she had to buy. A lot of utility in B. Is the choice of finishing location, and they're going to walk into a whole lot of utility. Flan, though, taking the headshot from Heads, who is now trying to get a duel with Drag, just trying to find anything. Zajester going to throw out the swarm grenades. Look at that. Look at how much damage that did. The microwave setup, and he'll just drop down and find one. Tino, though, trading it out, going to get traded himself, and there's just one player now left on site. Make that 0. The rest are running for the hills. Actually, Yellow the Flower might be able to get onto the site. Oh, the shots from Zajester. The classic just can't hit at that range, and now Head's gonna take the peak and can take down Zajester. So somehow, despite everything, this round is possibly now in favor of the side of Anubis, as they're gonna plant the spike in the 2v2. Low health on Flan.
Flan's
on the retake.
Gotta be just 15 HP, 13. This is looking very good for Divinity. This might be their ticket back into it, but they have to close it out here.
0 point definitely notes Yellow the Flower, and Heads will take the first duel. It's a 1-for-1 trade. It leaves just Flan with 13 HP. One classic right click, make it a left click. That'll be enough. Yellow the Flower closes things out. She'll get her team to a 3rd. It's still got some life.
Absolutely. The microwave, as you called it. I like that name, by the way. That was very funny.
I don't know if it was
a lot of damage.
I don't know if it's a true microwave, because there was no the alarm bot was a little offset, but that I've heard that little setup on the lane called the microwave quite a bit. It's not fun to walk through. Good way to lose all of your health. Yeah, even despite the setup, even despite everything, they cannot take the round. So the map stays afloat, if nothing else, for the Divinity, for Anubis. And they're playing out this save round, or this anti-eco very slow. Look at Flan trying to lurk with the shorty in the nebula. Gonna end up backing up now into the corner. Heads could walk in this. Heads, though, doesn't have a gun beside. Oh, never mind. Heads is too aware. And they're gonna take down another cross-map kill. They got options now. They can take the spike wherever they want to. It does look like A is going to be the final call. Zajester with the Killjoy utility could have something to say about it, but probably just a classic coming in otherwise. And with Dunder Chief dead, Zajester has to make the play of a lifetime, and it's not going to happen. It should be the round. Kneeler just going to come charging through. Almost takes down Sal Taco, but in the end, it's a flawless second round of the half. And Anubis
Those are the kinds of...
taking the second step.
Those are the kinds of rounds you need to start seeing out of Divinity of Anubis if they want to keep going through. There was the gun differential that happened there, but now it might be a little offset by Heads' Vandal. Interested to see how they take this now with the full rifles that they're running into. Looks like they're going to abandon the slow kind of pushes they've been making these past 2 rounds and go for a fast A exec. However fast it could be with this no duelist comp. Knife scans up 2 for sure. That's Dragon, Flan, and A main. Not seeing very much playing off of the one way. They're going to pivot towards mid. Not a lot to stop them here, at least in Archers and in Tree. Just Dunder playing kind of far back, and same with Neil, also very far back.
They have so many players on this side, though. Very ready for some A aggression. It's starting to come through. They did get full mid control, so this is a full pinch, but this A main control is stifling any sort of attempt at a push. Dreamer almost gets spotted with the spike. Now will get spotted, but it'll just run down Dunder Chief and Flan as well. So it's just leaving one player here to defend the site. Have they seen Drag? They definitely have now. He's going to go down. Site's now open. Spike going down. It's 4v2. We'll even see if they try this retake, as it's just the last 2 members of the Calzones alive to try this. Kneeler and Zajester. Gonna start pushing their way back through heaven.
I don't know how much. Maybe they're going for damage to economy, but with Kneeler going down, it's not going to be very much. That wall is going to stop Jester from pushing any farther into Tree. Yeah, he might play for exits here. Yeah.
Or he'll play to lose his head-to-heads. And gotta wonder if they could have saved those rifles going into this next round, because now look, yeah, very broke. The Jester actually, I guess, has enough to force one out if he so chooses, with the rest of the team on dire economic straits for this round. The Jester will buy back down to the Spectre. Shorty out from Flan. We'll see if that kind of buy we're looking at here.
That was a great pivot out from from Anubis on A. Seeing maybe a little bit too much stuck in A main. Don't want to push into his 5 and lose very many guns, or lose very many fights, so they send 3 up into mid, pinch it out, close the round out, putting Calzones back onto a save, but they may be pushing into the gamble sack here. There are 4 players near this B site. Flan's shorty is going to be noted with the sound cues, recalling the star, slowing them down a little bit even more, but again, that mid aggression, heads, looking for a head. Not going to see anything. They're not going to give him anything at all. Smoke is going to come through, blocking off that back mid spot, but not Market. Heads doesn't care. He gets 1. Nealer going down and drag half HP as well. Gets put down by Tino.
And Flan would have to make the most hero play with the shorty we've ever seen, and she's just going to be forced onto the site. Dunderchief does have a late flank through the door, but I mean, it's just a classic. What can you do? Gets spotted out by Sal Taco. Do they knows the gestures here? Dreamer, cognizant enough, very aware to clean that out. It's a flawless round in Anubis. How many do you think they need before we can start giving them a chance in this map? Because they've cut the lead in half. It's down to 10-6.
I would say they need this round and the next round. I'm holding tab. I see 3 ultimates, 1 off for Calzones, and 2 of them are great for stalling out pushes. So if they can get over the hump that is the ultimates, then I'd call it a comeback. But that timeout's going to come through for Calzones. Maybe they want to try something different. We saw something similar that Anubis did on their defense, and what they changed was Heads getting a little more aggressive on the extremities, mostly B main, and the 1 round in mid that he got 2 with the Tour de Force. But Calzones don't have access to those kinds of resources unless Flan decides to do something crazy and buy up to the operator, or drag even. But especially with that Neon, the Breach, you could pair those 2 up, maybe get a little bit aggressive with the stuns and just Neon running it in.
You know, with all those ults about to come online, unfortunately, they might be around late because this will be their buy round, and if they lose this round, the next round, they won't have weapons, most likely, at least not great ones. With all those ultimates and with the aggressive composition they sort of have, you almost wonder if they should be playing retake more and giving up more space on the site, especially when they go away from the Killjoy. So they've got a really strong double initiator composition with the Neon. That's incredible for retakes, and with some Astra utility, you can completely retake a site if you're ready to do so.
Sal's gonna get scanned up a little bit. Same with Drag, I think, in the cubby underneath the door to Market. Bit of a rat spot, but if there was ever a time, it's now.
She's hoping to get something done out of that corner, but unfortunately, as of right now, nobody heading that direction. Really, Sal Taco just holding down B main. It's a very slow approach. With the time coming out the timeout, Anubis is just looking for something coming out of the Celestial Calzones, maybe some kind of aggression, any kind of push, and nothing coming their way. Sal Taco just going to slowly clear out. Sees Thunderchief, just shots, and 0 points exchanged. Oh, and that actually gets... Yeah, that does get 3. We'll see if that draws. It does draw 1 rotation. Nealer, don't peek with your knife out. Yeah, Heads has gotten way up here.
Heads is in a very good spot here. He's got his team all this space to just come through mid, and it's just up to Flan. How much can she get?
She's got to run off too. Zajester is still the last bastion of the A side, but look at all this map control. Anubis have practically everything. They got 3 players of the Celestial Calzones all the way pressed back into their spawn. Finally drags lure position. Hasn't moved all around, pays off. It's going to be another 1-for-1 trade on the other side of the map. Make that 2-for-1. Spike has to find a way somewhere. Yellow the Flower with it has to find her way onto the site. She has got 10 seconds. She's just kind of got to run out. She's going to lose the duel to Drag. Heads has enough time to take Drag down, but will not have enough time to plant the spike, and definitely not to find all 3 of these players. That's going to be the round on the board for the Celestial Calzones, and maybe it's the fake comeback narrative, you know? Maybe that's the one we dialed up today.
I don't want to say anything, but it's not. Maybe it is over, because there are 4 ultimates except for 1. Okay, 3, but Jester's 1 off. It's practically an ult. I'll call it an ult. 4 ults for Calzones on their defense, and it looks like they hit their stride. That timeout was really good for them. They were able to take a round off of it. Maybe Anubis not ready for that such a fast rotation and finding 3 players stuck in tree, but Heads is gonna get scanned up here. He's just the sole player out here in B. Rest of his team's gonna be A. Ooh.
It's the
Plan
spot
using
on
the
the
jump
flan. Heads has to be a bit on a swivel here to keep an eye out for anyone coming from the B main lurk. Right now, they are relying on that utility of the Jester to really lock
That's a
down the
great
site. They
blast.
definitely saw Heads. Does manage to rendezvous away. We'll head back towards the rest of the team who are grouping up for this B hit, or A hit rather. Flan spots out Saltaco. We'll fall back, and there's the Nightfall. This is going to spot both players. Gets Flan and the Jester. They're going to wall off everything. The Killjoy utility starting to come through to find one. Jester, though, only the one. Actually finds a second postmortem with the Nano Swarm, and now Heads and Dreamer have to find something in quickly. The wall has been broken. They're just going to charge through. Heads, though, wins the duel, but can only get one. Drag didn't even have a gun, didn't even pop the ultimate, and takes one down in the round. Will put Celestial Calzones on map point.
Well, so that happened. Such eloquence, I guess. I'm not sure what really the... Okay, yeah, you push off the Nightfall, but the Jester's Killjoy utility was so good at putting a stop
Well,
to
they've
that.
never really walked into it before, especially not on the side of the map. They just weren't prepared for it, and they didn't... Maybe the Jester didn't get hit by the Nightfall. I thought he did in the back of sight there, but the Killjoy utility just absolutely ate them up. They were not ready for the position, and 2 kills there from the Jester, 1 post-death, was definitely huge. They were still just fighting to get spiked to sight.
Saltaco has a very nice position here and up all the way in Cat.
They've been giving mid control, have the Celestial Calzones. This far up, at least.
Nealer might be in a good spot. Tucked up against the corner. Saltaco's not going to be able to see him unless she swings out all the way into his spot. But
Well, this should give it
comes out
away,
fault line.
because this is going to be coming from close. Nealer actually goes to clear, but doesn't clear close right. Didn't expect one to be all the way up. Vaughn with the Odin actually running way, way back. Spike should be getting planted now. Saltaco trying to get aggressive. You can hear the overdrive coming through. Oh, they don't see each other. Thunder's going to peek out. No way.
Oh my
what,
God.
Flan's found 2 with the Odin. Would have to 1v5 to pull this round off. It already has the first 2. Can't find anything else. That was a hectic little retake that came in very quickly, but it did not work out for the Celestial Calzones. Anubis will keep things alive.
that was the round they needed to win, and win it they did. They overcame the ultimates, the Odin, I guess, and just usually such a good defense from Calzones, but I say that they're 2-5 on their defense. The Anubis are doing a great job of bringing it back, and they're one off the word. No command. I knew that. No command.
It's just so much of an
2
uphill
orbs.
battle for Anubis after that disastrous first half. They've got to find the next 5 on the track. You said they've taken 5 of 7 in this half, but they're still 5 rounds behind and facing match point. They have to rattle off 6 in a row here just to force overtime.
Eds is pushed up quite far into mid. Not quite through the arches yet, but I'm sure he's glad that he isn't, because there are 2 players holding a nice crossfire from Market and Pizza off of this alarm bot. They're just going to skip it, though. They're going to push towards tree. Nealer in a position to receive them.
Oh,
Sees
this
the
is
gun
a
barrel,
free
gets
kill
the
onto
one.
Heads and a second onto Dreamer. That just might do it. Yellow the Flower, though, will find Nealer looking the wrong direction. If she can find Flunch, she has the Resurrect as well. Oh, she's going to push for it. They're closing the door. They're trying to get the res up. She's got the spike. Oh, this could be bad. Heads is right behind her. Or not Heads. That's Drag, but the spike will go down. Instant Killjoy lockdown during the plant. They're going to wall things up. Yellow goes down while trying to throw up the wall. It's another 1-for-1, but that leaves things onto Tina, who has to just completely evacuate. Spike's going to be half defused by the time he can even peek. Oh, no.
Walks in.
We've all
Yep.
been there.
That's not
It's
fun.
happened to all of us. It's happened to all of us. You know how that is. It's happened to all of
It do
us.
be like that, and the knife kill.
It really do be like that. That's so unfortunate. The Killjoy lockdown ends, you think, you walk forward, and you get hit. That's... I mean, what can you say? It happens to the best of us.
It really does.
That'll be how Anubis drop the round. The Celestial Calzones will take the 1-0 lead in this little 2-game set. And
Despite the 13-7, though, Heads and Tino both topping the leaderboard 1 and 2, respectively. It was a great map from both of them. They really did play really well, even while going down 10-2 on their defense and on the offense, getting really big multi kills and just impact frags all around. But I don't know, that 10-2 half, especially when you start on that offense, it's like walking uphill with a very heavy backpack, but it's not a hill, it's a mountain, and it is 90 degrees up. You're just gonna fall eventually. That analogy was really long, but I hope it made sense.
well, with that, we are going to take a break here. When we come back, we will bring you map 2 of this series, which will be Bind. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We've got a whole set after that. So please, please, please stick around. We'll be right back after this 5-minute break.
Oh, you're so carefree, living a dream. I'm running in circles 'cause I looking for the real thing. Somewhere we crossed the wrong wires. I dare you to fix this heartbreak. Baby, we got miles to go.
And welcome back. We are coming back after map 1 of Ascent went to the Celestial Calzones over Divinity's Anubis. We're getting ready for map 2 of Bind. What do you think about this second map? Do you think Celestial Calzones can take it 2-0 Cryo, or do you think that Anubis will bounce back and split this series 1-1?
I do not know. Calzones have played so well last map. And yeah, their defense wasn't quite as clean as their attack, but it didn't matter. 10-2 is not anything to scoff at. But if Anubis want to take this, I don't know what more they have to do, because maybe don't go down 10-2. That's my advice. Very shallow, but it's good analysis nonetheless.
Certainly, yeah. They definitely had some winnable rounds in that second half. They were failing to really adapt their retakes to what their opponents were throwing their way. So maybe a little bit more can be in their favor here in this second map. Also, as I have been alerted and have noticed, the community challenge we had for raising channel points, 15,000 channel points, has been raised for the admins versus players show match. So we are going to have to start organizing that, and I can't wait to get my butt whooped on stream. I'm sure everyone will enjoy watching all of the admins lose as the players send a bunch of immortal players against us, or whatever y'all can scrounge together, because I'm sure you will. You merciless. Anyway, we're getting into the 8th select here for Bind.
I saw Drag hover Phoenix for a second, and I got really excited. I've never seen them play Duelist, and then I saw Drag play Neon, and he just kind of killed whatever they looked at, so cool. I'm excited to see what else they pull out. KJ, Chamber, I think there was Fade in there as well, but
we
doesn't look
do
like
see
they'll be
a
going for that.
Cypher out of Dreamer, and instant look at that team lock, team synergy. It was maybe it was the key to the last map, but they've got it again here. Interesting compositions, I have to say. We've got the Sky coming in on one side, Astra, not too unusual, but definitely not the meta pick on Bind these days. The Killjoy as well. Well, there are 2 raises, so thankfully some things remain the same, but only 1 Viper. We have a Cypher, only 1 Fade.
Double Smokes. Double Smokes gives you a lot of flexibility on which site you go on Bind, and I've found through my various tests and analyses that it's cool. But Cypher always gets me excited to watch. I miss Cypher,
Yeah, as we
and I'm
see
glad that he's back.
Swan here with the lovely crosshair. That is a really cute crosshair, I've got to say.
How did she do that?
I don't know, but it's very cute. Like a little heart. I love it. Let's see. We've already got some nonsense, as the Jester has a shorty, and I believe 2 satchels, so I have a feeling
I'm
those
here
are
for it.
both going to be spent very early, and the Jester is in it for a good time, not for a long time in this round.
That really is a great way to put it. Thunder Chief sending that guiding light into Hookah, not scanning anything. Stun's gonna come through as well, but
We'll see if they're ready for this Cypher setup. The full grounded setup. Now this Trailblazer could actually be quite disruptive if piloted in the right direction. I don't think it is. And it doesn't really do much. We'll see. Yeah, there's the first trap, and that'll get him the first kill, and the second Dreamer with the setups. The Jester finally makes that shorty do something. They've lost more than half the team. He's gonna get the spike down. It's just Drag as well to help, who's busy throwing up the turret and going down. Dreamer with the little nerd setup completely shuts that push down, and it'll be the first round on the board and a much better start already for the side of Anubis.
you know, I love Cypher. I'm just gonna say it. I love Cypher. Nerd setup indeed. If I ran into that, I would be screaming and punching my desk. But it worked out just fine for Dreamer. They were able to get 3 kills in that round, and like you said, if there was ever a way to start it, now's the time. And that was the way to do it.
Nice early start. Should be reasonably easy second round as well, of course, as they will have the weapons against what should just be pistols coming in from the side of the Calzones. Drag is having a moment with the Jester, as Heads actually wants to get aggressive and will take ahead and actually get away with... I almost spoke too soon, but does actually get away with his life. Drag... Oh, actually, Kneeler. I thought Drag would be at more riz. Kneeler goes down. Heads has now found a third, and Drag is wondering where all of his friends went. Send help.
Blink twice if you need help, Drag. Just, we'll see it if you blink, I promise.
I don't see her blinking.
I don't think he's blinking.
Let's see.
No. Don't think you can see anything at all.
Enough to get a kill. He'll just run over heads. She at least finds...
For one, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that's what the crosshair is named in Drag's files, because you know you can name your crosshair profiles. I hope that one's called It's Good for One, I swear. What happened? I got mine. Team? Where'd everybody go?
Before the round starts, real quick, I like Fade Rays. You know, the C's nade is great. It was able to get a kill on Kneeler, but
both really good agents on this map too.
Absolutely.
A lot of narrow corridors for those raised paint shells, and the Haunt can just get on any angle. Prowler is always good. I mean, Fade's just a great agent, of course, as early pressure coming towards Heads, who does get away and will chuck the paint shells in. Oh, they're going for the combo. I don't know if it caught anyone. It did. It caught Drag.
One.
Yeah, there's another kill, and double blast.
Jester's going.
Judge. Oh, should have had one.
Almost.
Yellow the Flower on the Classic takes the kill. Tino on 5 hit points, but unfortunately that is 5 more than 0. 2 early picks in the favor of Anubis. Looking like the second half of Ascent right now. They're off to a good start. Kneeler does get a spot. Tino had no HP, so easy wallbang there. Push through this smoke somehow. Kneeler will flash through so many directions to look. They're finally pushing towards site. They actually take down Yellow the Flower towards U-Haul. It'll be traded back, but salvageable maybe. Oh, Dunder Chief's position given away. Flun can't even get the spike down. Dunder is going to have to make a miracle happen and cannot. Heads with the 3K. Shut things down. Weapon upgrades galore for Anubis, as they will take that early lead even further at 3 rounds to 0 now.
Usually air superiority is a very important part of modern warfare, but not today. AC-130 Meat Classic. Rest in peace, Jester. But in other news, you know, great round from Anubis. Really getting back into their stride. Heads is 6-1 right now, and it's been 3 rounds. He is 1 off the showstopper.
Air superiority, huh? That's a new one. Well, it looks like they want to head towards B with the eco purchase in hand. That has opted to go ahead and just upgrade to the Vandal. They left the Spectre in tantalizing territory. Perhaps OS could find it if they happen to go towards that site. And the Jester with a shotgun and 2 satchels. I wonder what's about to happen. Everyone, play the guessing game. What is the Jester going to do? Is it A, double blast pack backside and whiff a Bucky shot? And Dreamer just absolutely nerding on people again. Where even are they? Oh, they're in the smoke. Okay, yeah, they did find one. The spike did go down. There's a chance in this round. And less of a chance now. Kneeler is going to have to make a miracle happen. Kneeler has no head, so that round will be done and dusted. And these shotgun shots from the side of Jester have been wanting. Slightly wanting so far. Hey, if that were a judge, that would have been a kill for sure. Unfortunately, it was the Bucky.
It would have been.
Man, I haven't played Valorant in too long. I don't recognize this knife. What Streamer got? What is that? Oh, that's what that knife is.
I forgot what it's called. It's from the Chronovoid bundle, though.
Yeah. Anyway, the timeout called by the attacking side's the Jester coming through. We got 3 IGLs on this team, so I don't know who's actually making the calls right now, but I'm sure there's a discussion happening.
I think they're all playing a 3-way rock, paper, scissors before they make a decision, but
Before
I
every
mean, it worked for
decision, or do
them
you
last
think
map.
it's just before the rounds?
I don't know. I think they three-way rock paper scissors that too. But
What
before
do
the
you
game
think they need to
starts.
do? They've only so far only the one gun round and the pistol, if you want to count that as an even round. But what kind of adaptations do they need to look to make to be able to get onto site? Because they really, really have struggled just to get the spike down.
I don't. The defensive setup from Anubis has been really, really good. They're able to use their utility to just either not let you into the area or just stop you once you've gotten in. Like Dreamer's just nerdy tripwires, dude. Why? And then the nades coming in on A short and the paired with the C's sometimes. I don't know what there is you can do. Maybe you can go for picks, but Anubis haven't been, at least from what I've seen. Nerdy cam, by the way, very cool. They
Where
haven't been.
is that camera? I wasn't looking at my screen, and now I see it on the mini map. And where
I
is that?
I think
What in
Dreamer
the
jumped on-
world?
Okay, this is the most nerdy trip I've ever seen, but the problem is it's been working.
Oh my goodness. Well, they definitely don't want to be coming to the B side, and they're not. And Heads will peek out, finds one, but a ton of damage on Flan as well. The rest of the players coming through short, but Flan has the spike, and she's just going to have to turn tail and go help the team. Neeler goes down, almost a second spray down from Tino. Cosmic Divide comes through. Front of site should be secured. We'll see. I don't think they want to contest. It is a 3v3. Spike should be going down. Should. Oh, they're just going to teleport. They're teleporting into Dreamer. Dreamer's just backing away back to site. Oh no. Don't walk into it
Shoot
again.
the tripwires! Shoot the wires!
They definitely need to. Oh, they definitely don't find the first one. Dreamer doesn't even need them peek that one to make it 3. Oh, Cypher. Dreamer just anchoring the site and shuts things down. It's now 5, and that's a second gun round. Half starting to get a little out of hand for the Celestial Calzones. It's looking like map 1.
9-0-0. And usually, you know, that score line you see from a duelist, they're getting in there, they're getting their hands dirty. No, Dreamer's sitting back. They're hitting the wires, shooting the wires. They're not looking at Dreamer. He's gonna get 3 for his troubles, but
Yeah, they're just lining him up, knocking him down right now.
yeah.
And see, we have started a new community challenge in the chat for the Mechatronic Bob Ross painting stream. We'll see how quickly we get to that one as we get here into this 6th round with the Celestial Calzone slow pushing B again. I don't think this is where you want to be. Okay, the wire, I think, was tripped by not a person, maybe, because they're not dead yet. And Sal Taco's actually going to go down. They do have rifles online. Dreamer trying to lurk in the smoke actually gets tagged by the Trailblazer, but shots aren't quite connecting. They are going to live. This lockdown's really deep. It's not really going to get much. It will clear out immediate sight, but all these players still lurking back. It is a 4v5. Make that a 5v3. 3v5, I guess. In the favor of OS, in the favor of the Celestial Calzones. So their first chance to really put a round on the board in this map. They're going to get aggressive. They're going looking for Tino here. Dreamer still lurking around an elbow, trying to find a way back in. The nerd camera tags someone. Now they know where it is, at least. That tagged somebody in hookah. Good lord. Gotta find their way back in, though. Dreamer pushing through. Has the cage, but can't find Dunder Chief. 2 for 1, but there's still 3 players, and look this. They've got the lineups, they've got the setup, they've got the mollies. They even have the Rolling Thunder if they want it. They're gonna throw it in there. It was completely unnecessary. Tino's definitely dead, and the round is definitely over. And that will finally get one on the board for the Celestial Calzones. As they just stormed the B site there, yeah.
The wires are great and all, but if there's 4 other players there, usually it's not. Usually it should be fine, but we saw Dreamer get a 3K, so things aren't as fine as they should be. They have plenty of money now, at least to buy for this round, for Calzones, and not much else. They've got the Showstopper, and just
Sal Taco's actually just buying a judge and sitting in hookah, by the way. Anticipating perhaps another fast push towards that side of the map, or at least some kind of push. Because this actually could be very smart. They've generally been giving up control of hookah because they've been relying on Dreamer's pressure. Just holding the actual site down. His head trades bullets with Jester. Both will get away with their lives. Narrowly. Dunderchief just charging forward. Can't find Tino. So they're just bursting through. Spike is here. Meanwhile, Saltaco's found Flan on the other side of the map. Jester throwing off. Saltaco's found another. Jester throws out the Showstopper. Doesn't find anything. They've got control of some of this site, but it's now just down to 2. Make that 1. Drag gets the Spike in the ground, but that's all they can do. As Dunder Chief will get shut down. That was... why did 2 players die in hookah there?
Maybe they were trying to sell a fake, but it didn't really work because the Spike is already down and they're still stuck in hookah, I guess, until the round ends and they respawn back in their spawn. But yeah, I need for a gun now.
Definitely felt like a little bit of desync on some part there. Cost them for sure. And attack side's looking a little lost over here as they're all staring off into the void a little bit. They're having machinima conversations.
Perhaps.
I feel like
I see another shorty.
I feel like that reference might be too old for some people.
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know what was going on, and I'm sure somebody understood it, so...
Oh no.
Good job, too. Good job.
You know, machinimas, like...
I don't know what that is.
Like the YouTube channel?
I'm
no.
lost. That cam sees so much.
It does see quite a
I'm
bit,
stealing
especially it's really difficult to see. I mean, if you can hit the setup, good for you, because I certainly don't know how how Dreamer got it up there. Trailblazer coming through will get taken care of. Perhaps the most important enemy here for Dreamer. Actually, the paint shells are the most important enemy, but the orbital strikes just found 1. Yeah, they've scaled on his site. They're going to go straight for Dreamer. They want to take them down, but they flash themselves. Thunder Chief now on the really off angle will get the right click of the gods, because, I mean, everyone else's classic works that way, just not mine. But this is going to be a big uphill battle. Dunder at least has a gun and will find yellow. Yeah, 3 more to find Spike out of control as well. Thunder has to completely work back in. Seekers are online. This isn't clean. This is dangerous. The 2 players aren't even grouped together. You know where the sky is. Why are you so deep? Tino's gonna have to take a 1v1 here. Throws in the seas. Okay, and it grabbed, thankfully. Bit of a near throw there with the 1v1s being given up. Heads wasn't playing with Tino there in the 2v1, even though they knew exactly where Dunder Chief was, so a little bit of risk.
Tino's got it under control. It's okay.
All good.
All good, smile. And speaking of things that are all good, and a very great segue, I'm sure. Anubis have 4 ults. So have fun pushing into that. There are 4 rounds left in this half. And
Well, they have 3 ults in Bald Cypher.
yeah, Bald Cypher is like an ult in and of itself. Like, you get the Neural Theft, sure, that's kind of like an ability, and then...
Yeah, the
Bald
Neural
Cypher
Theft is like a really bad ability, but Bald Cypher is a massive buff. It's right up there with Reyna ult, like, you just can't hit it.
True.
It just makes them smaller.
The head feels smaller, even though you know it's not smaller.
I swear it's smaller. The hat has a hitbox. Anyway, early pressure towards A, and it does definitely look like that's where the Celestial Calzones want to finish things. They're going to flash their way forward. Head's completely blinded up, but Tino's found the first pick. Chester almost lost that duel, but did get the kill, and they're going to get some site control here. There is a Viper's Pit already on site, so they have to figure out a way to deal with Yellow the Flower lurked up in here. They tap the spike, they tap it again. Flan's going for the plant. Molly's coming through. A lot of utility being dumped in every which direction. The spike is planted. The U-Haul control is important here, but Jester loses it. Now Drag holding the close angle on the spike as Flan goes down. They're going to have to make something out of nothing here in the 1v3. So many players here. Swarm Grenades going down. Surely somebody peeks Drag soon. They have to know where he is. Dancing, weaving will take a head off. This is possible, but Yellow the Flower shuts things down. The double swing was good enough there. Dreamer will get the defuse through. It will be 8 on the board. As dominant as Ascent's first half was, this first half on Bind is looking just as dominant in the other direction.
My poor channel points. Anyway, no. Honestly, that was a really good idea from Calzones. Split pushing so that you send some short, send some shower. Their previous A hits didn't have that extra shower component, and that let Tino just sit there. We saw one round. What is this?
Yes, this should do.
I've seen it before, but it doesn't make it any better. Okay, back to business. Ooh, okay. Looks like they're gonna do something different.
We
I
do
guess.
we
It's
do a
just
bit of
different.
Cypher setup streaming as
That
what
is-
I
what
hate this
is-
camera. Why does this
no,
camera
I hate it.
exist?
I've seen it before. It doesn't make it any better. Like,
Look at where Heads is, and look at where Heads isn't. Well, is I got head is on the ground. That's what I was going for. Oh, spam actually. We'll just
spam,
find the
Taco.
kill. Taco is gonna take a ton of damage though, and just straight dies to the paint shells. Okay. Worth for the Jester for certain. Tino now. Oh, just manages to squeeze in the corner. This 1v1 could be very important. Showers control is huge here. It goes in the favor of Tino. Spike not down yet. Yellow the Flower loses the duel, but Showers control, no. It doesn't do
Drag?
anything. Drag covering it. Flood has a shotgun.
Spike planted.
Dreamer's got to find a way to work back in this in the 1v3. Has the neural theft, but that's not really worth anything. Has one cage. Throw that
No
up.
trips.
Perhaps on the spike. No trips. Gonna get spotted by the turret. No camera either. And losing a duel with a turret. We've all been there. That thing just never dies because it does not take
doesn't.
headshot
It
damage.
takes too much damage.
On interactables might even be obscuring the vision. Look at all these post plant utility. This is Celestial Calzone's game plan. It's just to throw the post plant utility, stall, 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 and Dreamer has to find some way around all of this, and yeah, it's not happening. So it'll be a second round on the board, at least matching the first half of Ascent so far. Definitely could go with a few more, at least one more, definitely two more. You would think for the Calzones to really have a solid shot on this defensive side. To take this map, to take this to keep their perfect record. They did come in. Oh no, it was actually Anubis who had the perfect record. And they no longer do. So check me on that. Anubis now down to 6-1. I completely missed that. I thought it was the other team.
No contender teams have a perfect record now, and you know it's better that way.
It would have been quite a run if anybody finishes any VDC season with a completely unbeaten map record. That would be something else.
It would. But this is just gonna be a 5-man push through B long, and you know what?
You know who's
I
here.
hope it goes well.
You know who's here.
Because
They're gonna start pushing through Dunder
Somebody
Chief
is here.
with the Trailblazer. This is actually gonna get one of the trips. So the most valuable member of the team takes down one of the tripwires because now they can't be shot back, and Heads just jumping out of hookah will go down. This camera sees everything and everybody, but actually can't get anything as Dreamer, who is not playing an elbow like normal. So it's going to be a retake. It will be numbers in favor of the Celestial Calzones. The camera, though, still putting in work, still tagging players and getting drag killed. That's a big part of the late hold here. The post-plant utility, they're going to flash out. He tries Dunder, but he's just going to go down after being spotted. Did take one down in the back of sight, but there's only the gravity well here to slow things down. Yellow the Flower
push
wants
to
to
a
go pushing
crossfire.
through. Nice little crossfire on the close angles. Nobody's tapping the spike yet. They're going to throw down the molly. Spike is tapped. Here comes the showstopper. That'll take down the diffuser. It's all on to Tino. Swings through. Can't find Kneeler. It'll be the round to the Calzones. Once again, they're going to take this to a third round and a half, maybe even bringing things to a 4-8 half, which after how things started is at least something.
I think they've found the secret sauce. They've opened the right door in the pantry, dug around through the fake wall, and they've uncovered the jar of secret sauce.
The jar
Cypher?
of secret sauce.
I don't know where I was going with that, and I think it ended go. You know,
They've definitely been...
Cypher's not great for holding down sites. He's great for, you know, cheeky spams, but he doesn't have quite the stopping power that a Chamber, a Sage, or a Killjoy does. And pushing into the Cypher again and again might be a great way to exploit that.
And really just the strategy here for the Celestial Calzones is clearly being get the spike down and we win. Because they have so much post-plant utility.
The PPI Calzones.
The PPI Calzones. Don't tell Spence, but actually the Jester is going to go down. That's the tip of the spear. That is the raise. There's some exploration happening towards the A side of the map, and it might need to be put in here. Both players hovering towards the teleporters on B long. So it does look like
that
A
just
is
be
their
anyway.
hoped ultimate destination, but Heads has the read into this. Heads is here. Heads is here and ready to click. Kneeler actually
Kneeler
finds
just gets
Dreamer. Dreamer actually walked way forwards, but the teleport's coming late. And oh, the whole team just rotated off of A. Oh, they just moved. And now it's both sides trying to get onto the site at the same time, and it's going to be space given that orbital strike actually flushes everybody out of showers. Did a
You'll get
fair
some
bit
down
of
anyway.
damage as well. It's
Or
even going to
not.
allow them to stop the plant. Flash is coming through. Everything's getting traded. It's so far, it's just 2 for 2 now. Make that 3 for 2. It's all on to Tino. Do they even know where Tino is? The lockdown's even going to come through. I mean, they have to. It's the last round of the half, but Tino's going to find one. Swings out. The bullets ran dry. Flan will get the last kill. She keeps things just in check, and that'll be the 8-4 half.
They started to get it back there. They started to figure out, okay, what do we need to do? This B site, let's keep pushing this. Oh wait, no, they're expecting that now. Pop the teleports. At such a perfect timing too. Just as the Divinity players were starting to rotate off, bang, bang, 2 players are here now, and there were 2 players already here. It's just, the site, it gets taken, the plant gets put down, and yeah, they don't lose post plants. We don't have anybody to do stats, but I'm gonna do one, and if it's wrong, it's still right. It's okay.
Oh no.
OS have not lost the post plan, and it's looking really good. Now they're on.
There's
now they're
3
on the defense.
defusals in this map. It's just wrong.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And he definitely lost some rounds on Ascent on the post plant, but that's fine. That's fine. It's okay.
I didn't say anything. I think I lagged. I was talking about the wrong match.
Anyway, as we get
Oh,
into
boy.
the second half pistol, OS could definitely use this one. I won't say it's as must win as it was for Anubis on Ascent, but definitely not one you want to drop. You don't want to go down 10-4.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just gonna push into a stack of 3 players here. Dunder questioning the rotate. Looks like he's gonna commit to
Oh,
it
Sal's
now.
dead. Oh, Sal, okay. Juan almost made a mess of the shots there, but she will shut one down.
Spike's gonna start rotating away. It's been very quiet. They have not made any noise except for Sal dying. But it doesn't really make noise, so it's okay. It doesn't count.
Killjoy turrets here. That flash actually didn't trigger anything, but
Yeah, here comes the rotate now.
heads
That's
lost
everybody.
half health. Or not heads. No, it is heads. Lost about half health to the turret, and Drag just taking their time on the back of site. There's now 4. Make that all 5 players here, and will they realize? No, they're just running straight through into it. Dreamer's so late on this lurk. We'll see if we can get anything done. Drag with the mollies as well, completely shutting things down.
Tino
This is an
just-
absolute
just
mess,
stuck back
though.
there.
It's kind of a monster match.
Tino has
Tino
3?
has to make so much happen here, though. So many players around. Dreamer's too late to the site. Has 5 seconds to find both of these players. I don't think it's happening, but they're both in tube. This could be doable. Time's gonna expire on them, and they will get shut down as well. So the pistol does go to the Celestial Calzones, and this map is... it's definitely more interesting than the
better.
first.
Tino with some heroics and backside. 3 kills, not quite enough, but he is 20-7 right now. The next player teammate is 11-6. So yeah, Tino's putting up some numbers.
Sheesh, yeah. Definitely tried to make the one-man stand on the back of site there, but couldn't make it happen. Not quite enough. And they're going to be forced onto the save here. Gotta find a way in. Gotta find some way to get the spike down at least here, you'd hope. Winning the round is,
Again,
of
they're
course,
pushing into
possible,
3
but...
players.
Yeah, they're pushing. It looks like 3 on A is the setup with the Killjoy on B site. Probably not a bad call. The smokes are going to come through. Flan's going to hide inside the Sky Smoke. Not to be confused with the Sky, the character. Sky Smokes are the name of the ability, because Valorant.
This is not confusing at all.
Nothing. It's something I've never thought about. Thank God Sky doesn't have smokes. They all want to come out of showers here, and they're just kind
This
of
pool might
lining
be big.
out. Oh, Flan! Yeah, the Gravity Well actually will grab almost
Guess
everybody,
what?
and they finally swing out with the Spectres. They're just doing so much work. Dreamer gets shut down as well. Tino,
The magic
final
man,
boss.
can
Yeah,
he
the
do
final
something?
boss is still alive, but concussed.
The dog.
What the dog doing?
The dog's a murderer.
What the dog doing?
So the dog does 30 damage. Is that okay? Probably. I don't think so. It does more damage than a classic bullet, which is preposterous.
I think it's fine that the dog does 30 damage. That's
I mean, true. I mean, get your leg bit off. That is significantly more than.
You know what?
Single
You know what?
bullet.
Actually, you know what I think? I think more abilities should do more damage. I think KO knife should do 1
Oh, if it
damage,
stabs you?
and if it hits
It
you in
should
the
do
head,
critical
it should
hit.
1-hit KO. I want to
Absolutely.
see the highlights of people 360 knifing other people with 0 point. I want to see
Like, you get a
people
0 point
trolling.
lineups?
I want it to do only 1 damage otherwise. Maybe like 25, but not enough to reasonably be used as a weapon. I want to see people only going for it when they don't need to. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this. The first pick's been gained by the attacking side, as Anubis are going to throw out... I feel like this is the 3rd or 4th time, including map 1, where they've thrown out a Nightfall that doesn't really hit anything, but they will get the 1-for-1 trade. You can hear 2 players immediately going through the teleporter. Sal Taco trying to shut both down, will only get 1. Gets traded out by Flan, so Spike, or a gun to be picked up. Kneeler as well finds Yellow. The Flower getting 2 4-forwards.
Marked up.
Heads takes
Just
down
Neil.
Flan. It's just Kneeler, who actually fully flashes Heads, but picks the wrong target, and Tino with another 3, absolutely rolling in the frags. And that will...
Nino is so incredibly good.
Yeah, that will be the bonus round denied by the attacking side by the Divinity, and they will push themselves on to 9.
Yeah, some just stopping the bleeding, I feel, is what you have to call that. They want to hold on to this lead as best they can, and yeah, they do. That's just 3 rounds now. Not unwinnable, but it's not something that you could comfortably sleep at night with. The bots, I did not know they do that. That's
It's
really
not consistent, but they do it sometimes. As we'll see the paint shells come through to try to stall any aggression. We actually have a duel going on in showers, and Sal Taco and Kneeler go at it. And it'll be the better weapon that gets the better of the duel. Taking a little bit of damage. They want to go back towards B. They want to go back towards the Killjoy, which... not my preference, but you have to go somewhere with the Spike. I guess you could sit and spawn and lose every round after a minute and 40 seconds.
There.
They have a minute. They've got plenty of time, and I like the slow approach. It's okay. I like it a lot less now that they've been spotted outside
Actually,
of Hookah, but
this is a full commit rotate. They don't know this, but there's only 1 player now left on A that they could rotate away, but they won't. They're going to try to push in. Heads actually wins the duel despite the gravity well, and Drag now defending the back of Sight. Finds 1, finds 2. First with the Molly, second with the headshot. It's going to be just left onto Dreamer,
Balden
1v2.
time.
Notice
Dreamer
where
is
both players
bald.
are, in theory, and heard Kneeler drop. Has to make something happen, but Kneeler with the crosshair placement will take down Dreamer. These sight hits have been so chaotic.
Balden time not quite enough for Dreamer. And if only that ultimate did more. I don't know. But it's gonna put Anubis back on a low buy here. Just Tino with lots of money. But I don't know. Calzones not quite, you know, rich either. They don't. Doesn't look like Fawn's gonna be able to buy up a rifle. Kind of undecisive on what they're gonna do there. Just a frenzy, okay. Flash scans up Neil. That's not Neil. That's Dreamer in B-Link. Haunt's coming through. So is the Viper Wall. Haunt
Here
doesn't
comes
scan
the
anything, but
smokes.
wall does
Suggester
come up.
caught with the boombot in hand will go down. So the first pick does go the way of the Divinity. Flan? Why does Flan have... Am I losing my mind? Why does Flan have a frenzy? It doesn't matter. Kills going back in their
Flan
direction.
didn't buy.
1-man advantage. Neither still has control here. They're going to trade Flan out finally. Who did not buy it, as you were saying. Dreamer trying to just walk through this smoke. Oh my god, you cannot lose that duel. Why does Drag have a shorty? What is going on? Why do they not have guns? Now Drag standing here, just gonna walk into this round. Heads is gonna plant. That's a smoke. That's all that is. Sautako throws the ult to get herself into the teleporter. And it leaves Kneeler
winnable,
in the 1v2. Both players below full health. Heads probably 3 bullets, maybe just 2 if you're at the right ranges, but it will just be 1 to take down Sautako. And this is a quick push in from Kneeler, just stomping all over the site. No care in the world. Unfortunately, Heads playing the off angle will take another for his collection.
A
10-7
great crossfire
now.
just to close it. And now they've got guns. Hopefully, if you have money, you can buy into this round, except Jester, but if I were to guess, he's gonna buy a shotgun because raise. Meow. People die, so that's the sound of people dying. I don't know where I was going with that.
So far, no investment from Zejester. Just the classic, and that might actually be the plan. It looks like, yeah, that's just going to be what's rolled with here. Full buys everywhere else on the map. And
They're
Jester
gonna
is...
bait him. He's just gonna run up. Wait, he has the showstopper.
No, I think you're looking at the wrong raise. It's 2 off the showstopper. I'm not sure what the plan is here for Jester.
I don't think.
And it's just the classic buy.
forever buy.
We'll see what happens.
But another slow round from Anubis. They got full weapons. Not particularly eager to lose them.
It's mostly full guns on both sides. It's just the one classic from Zejester. So everyone else, full rifles aboard. Juan recalling the star actually allows some space to be taken by Anubis here, and they're starting to get close, and they're going to just storm straight through. Showstopper in hand, and Neeler's going to probably die too, and oh, no way! That just completely misses, and Dunder's found 2 off the back of the Rolling Thunder. That was a huge whiff. Dreamer now can't find any shots. They will finally find one. Has just so many directions to look. Can't pick the right one. Tino is still left alive, so there's maybe a chance in this round. Has to pull off some heroics after completely thwarted attempt at an execute.
15 seconds. Kneeler is very low. But other than that, I'm not sure how much he could go for. Maybe just some exit kills.
It looks like Tino, nothing really to do here. Probably going to take a late fight with Flan or just turn and run. So that will be the saved weapon. Saved KD perhaps at 25 and 10. But unable to make an impact in that round. Unable to find any frags. Creeping back,
the
it's
knife was
almost tied.
expensive, but you know that's a pretty cool part of it. Jester, no more conning around this time. He's gonna buy, but Dunder Chief stuck on a Spectre. Flan has enough to buy him, but may not choose to. Spectre is a perfectly fine gun. Bind is a very close quarters map, and on defense you can sit in a corner.
It's a force up out of the offense as well. Dreamer on a Spectre of their own. There's actually a frag. Ooh. Sal Taco and Kneeler were, or Zejester and Kneeler were trying to take Sal Taco, but just takes a head off and walks away scot-free in the 2v1 duel. And there's actually just one player now in Kneeler on a site, so see if Anubis reads into this. They haven't so far in this half. They've been very committed to where they start.
They fought in showers several times now, and I'm pretty sure a few of them I've gone in the way of Sal Taco.
Oh, look at drag. Look at drag. Oh, with the angle, but just gonna lose out. Odin can't find anything. This is gonna be the site hit coming in. No Killjoy utility off the back of this. Flan's even cut off. It's gonna be on to Dunder to try to find something, but cannot. And Flan's just completely forced away. Has to just reload and run. Viper's Pit even online. Dreamer's just pushing the corner. We'll see if they can find anything. They can't. So that gives the 2 frags will give us something. How is Heads here? Wait a minute. What?
He just walks in, I guess.
Okay.
I do not know.
Neither 3 to find. Has to find a way through the Viper's Pit. Can't even find the first. Heads will, again, add more to the collection.
It's a really good entry from him.
I assume that's why his name is Heads. Because he collects them. That makes sense, right?
What a sick person if he just collects heads. I'm envisioning like a mad scientist in a lab with jars of heads aligning.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
I don't. Heads, if you do that, you're a very strange person.
On my way.
I mean, that's.
I'm gonna say I respect you so that you don't take my head, but you're.
You better sleep. I'm not gonna say that. That's a little too much. We get into this round here. Some utility being exchanged, some bullets being exchanged again towards showers. Dreamer has opted for the upgrade. Embraced the Odin. They are the divinity, so.
Oh, I see what you did there. Huh? Genius.
2 players in towards Hookah on the defensive side towards B, and that's the only defenders there. The Killjoy has swapped to A. Heads has taken full control of Long. Looking for a
think
fight.
they'll see him. The spike's gonna start coming B again. Heads maybe communicating. I don't see anything here.
There's definitely a timing Heads could catch if Heads were to walk out. Obviously can't know that. There's no reason Heads should walk this far forward, but got the satchel coming through, and Tino's about to walk into a shorty, and will go down to it. Dreamer will get shut down from the backside by Flan. Meanwhile, 2 players on site, 1 all the way back site, and Sal Taco takes down Jester, trying to go for the showstopper. So Spike should be able to get planted here. Sal Taco just made it around the corner, but will lose
Nice shot.
head anyway. Heads as well, trying to push into spawn, goes down. Yellow the Flower has to make a huge play here. 1v4, takes down the first, can't find anything else. Spike will be defused. They were not ready for that hookah stack at all. No utility,
Not at all,
nothing. Nothing.
I'm pretty sure it was just Tino going in there alone, but oh, Dreamer did join him, and it's a good trade from Flan. Or not trade, because nobody died. At least, yeah. Anyway, ignore us. I'm losing my mind as this match goes on because it is very chaotic. Rounds are going back and forth. I'm holding tab right now. It's making a zigzag. And it is aesthetically pleasing, but eventually it's gonna put Anubis
That's a
on the
different
13.
that's a different franchise.
It is, and
This is the omnipotent sandwiches and the divinity.
right.
What are you bringing aesthetic into this? No, I'm kidding.
I'm
That's an early
lost in this
lockdown
box.
defensively from Drag, and that's, I mean, I don't think that hits anything here. There's nobody pushing. A single sky smoke will be dropped from the outside of showers. It just looks like slow play so far from Anubis. They're poking around looking for picks.
Looks like, and this is the shower fight again. Sal Taco every time wants a pick here, and if Dunder doesn't play that right, they might give it to her.
Oh, and the double
Remember that.
peek. And Saltaco as well does find the pick on the other side of the map. The Cypher ult's going to confirm that there's only 1 player towards the site. That's the Jester trying to make something happen with the Odin. How are those shots not landing? Completely just whipping everywhere, and now they're going to wrap around. So Jester has to do something with nothing, almost out of bullets here in the Odin. Watching the Viper Wall, spraying the
Wait,
Viper
how
Wall
does he
only
know?
onto the Classic, though. Has to do something, can't get out of there. The spike is planted in a bit of a poor location, and Drag will find one. So it's a winnable retake here. As Neeler starts to press onto site, Tino and Neeler completely just ghosting each other. Neither sees each other. How did Tino win that duel? How does Tino find another? Just too hot this map. He's just too hot
Tino
this
is-
map. Check him,
Tino is so
PC.
incredibly good. I mean, Tino moment. I'm gonna start. That's a thing now. You know what? Executive decision. That's a Tino moment.
A
Whenever Tino
moment.
does something cool, Tino moment. But now that's Anubis onto 12 here. Very scrappy buy coming out from Celestial Calzones. A pair of stingers, a judge, and just 2 rifles. Not a lot of ultimates to push off of either. And again, Sal Taco is going to challenge showers. Every time she gets a pick there, I feel like they get a round.
Look
What
at
is
this. Look at
Why?
this. Oh, but this time there's something for it. Yeah, they know there's 2 here. They heard both guns go off, and they say, no. Nope. Pass.
What are your thoughts on not going hookah?
Oh, yes.
Change
yes.
it up.
This
What
will
is
get them
this?
Swap sides. They'll never expect. Meanwhile, the side of Anubis are probing the other side of the map. Looking for a pick, and they have the superior weapons. Dunder with the rifle, though, is holding the long angles, trying to find something here. With the Vandal in hand, sees heads, but can't find his, so we'll have to back away. They get the mark onto the breach in Neeler, and everybody gets caught in the gravity well, including the Prowler. Little Kitty finally finds its mark, but in doing so, it clears a ton of space. Spike is planted. It's going to be the retake here.
5v5. They've got an Astro Divide, and that's really it. Neeler can get a pick and get that Rolling Thunder online, but Heads might be in the perfect position to shut that down.
Heads might be looking the wrong direction. Just gets jumped on. Goomba stomped. We'll get a 1-for-1 trade out of it. As Drag with the Stinger shuts it down after. But they still have so much space they have to retake. They have to clear Dreamer as well.
Dreamer.
Who's going to find one. There is still someone on the spike. It's halved. Flan's just sticking it. Flan's just
they just
sticking it.
gonna
Nobody's
stick it?
stopping it. They
Wait, the
can't
wall
hear
is
it. They couldn't
perfect.
hear it. Oh, and that orbital strike even comes in late. What a play. How did they not communicate that? Dreamer heard the spike be tapped and the orbital strike never came through.
I don't know. I'm still lost on the fact that uh, Neeler just jumps out of heaven onto Heads' head, and Heads doesn't lose his head until Drag takes it from him. And like my brain is trying to track like the ownership of Heads. I'm confused, but I'm all here for it. That was a very the Astro Divide came in so clutch. Looks like another slow. They keep doing these slow rounds, and I say another slow round a lot. And I feel like, you know, an insane person saying it over and over. But that's what they're doing, I promise. I promise. There's a Killjoy set up here on B where 3 players are going, but that's not where the spike is going. The spike's going to start leaning towards A.
Oh, it starts to
Never
wrap
mind.
back. Yeah, it starts to wrap back this direction. It does look like a 5-man push on to B is the call here. Gotta get through the Killjoy utility. Got Nano Swarm set up to stop the plant. The turret will see them as well as soon as they breach into Hookah. It sees them now. That Viper Wall actually shuts it down from shooting them any longer. Molly's coming through. We'll see if the hit starts to come through. They've got smokes and they feel threatened to push through, but they're going to just go through. Tons of damage
so
being done
low
by the utility and the spam. Nobody's gone down that yet, though, Spike included. Everyone pushing out of sight. Drag trying to get into an off angle. Jester goes down to Dreamer, and this will allow for the Bald Cypher to come through. Drag actually just almost got an angle and then goes blind.
They're
But
TPing.
South Taco will be taken down.
They've just
Dreamer on the
completely left it
rat
alone.
angle found when Flan is teleported behind everybody, but they're all on the other side of the map. Dreamer gonna peek out and find Thunder Chief as well. Can't find the 4th. And the spike is planted in the meanwhile. 9 health on Tino. The other 2 players looking pretty healthy. They even have Viper's Pit that they haven't chosen to use it. Yellow the Flower running back to play perhaps for lineups, or at least just play for the flank. That should be the first challenge. If they go for that U-Haul control here. Celestial Calzones just 2 alive. Flan and Drag have to make something happen here. Both going to push forward. Drag going to try to clear U-Haul. Finds Heads on the angle and will take
Wins that fight.
him down. That's the first of 3 they have to find. The spam coming through. Flan taking some damage. Yellow's just going to throw herself in. She'll get 1 for 1. That's good enough.
both so
Oh,
incredibly
the
good.
spam by the Drag. Is there enough time? Is there enough time? This is so close.
No, there isn't.
It isn't enough. 1 second for Drag.
So
Would have
close.
been it just with the spam on the 9 health player. But in the end, it'll be the round and the map going to Anubis. They will make this a 1-1 split here in the series. Both of these it looks like top teams in Contender, and they split their series.
Tino is both maps he's performed so well, even though he went down so hard on Ascent and did win this map. He's just rookie into this season, has never played VDC before, and now look at him. Look at where he is, from rags to riches, if you can even call pre-VDC rags. I don't know where that went, but good game. Balding time, you know. Air superiority, AC 130 coming in.
All right,
Didn't really get as much.
I think
I've
we need to get
lost my
Cryo.
mind.
I think we need to get
I've
Cryo
lost
off the
it.
cast before he
Oh!
before you start speaking in tongues. So we are going to throw to break. When we come back, we go to Master Tier and our second match of the night to bring you Infinite Vortex's Tempest versus the Automata's Exos. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for that at 10 p.m. So in about 15 minutes. Join us for that.
Bye.